Look, what is frustrating about managing student learning is that there are so many variables to consider before you even get to the learning. You have to think about social class, lesson plans, behavior, where to sit students, the logistics of your classroom, how much of your own money you're going to spend. It's crazy, just all this stuff you get to before you even get trying to get into learning, So yeah, there's a lot of background stuff before you get to learning. Once you get into this, you get things like growth versus proficiency. That's still a huge debate. Is it good enough that my students are doing better than they were before? Or is it my job to make sure that students' grades and test scores don't stagnate? Am I teaching them the right content? Are they getting it? I feel like I'm doing my best, but it's difficult when it feels like I'm getting blank stares a lot of the time. In that case, it is up to me to see what assessments I'm using, if they're working effectively, and to see what part of my teaching style works and what doesn't. Another thing that might be a stressor is parents. I haven't had the opportunity to work with a lot of them, but I can imagine helicopter parents, which I'm not a fan of, hovering around my classroom, cramping my style. I think self-care and mental health are super important when it comes to addressing burnout. I think it's important, one, to reflect on the good parts of teaching, even though a lot of the days can seem bad. I think it's important to just think about that one student you had like a connection with, or you really helped out through a tough situation. I remember I worked as an after-school tutor, and I introduced a few of my students to basketball when all they wanted to do was play soccer. And I remember one girl the year after got into she made the basketball team in her middle school, and she said she was always happy and thankful for me. So just thinking about events like that just kind of like keep me going forward. Apart from that, I think, like I said, mental health is important, and self-care. I think it's important to exercise when you can, eat healthy when you can. It's important to still, go out with friends, go out for food and fun, hang out with family. And finally, I think it's important to have a close coworker. I've sat in teachers' lounges, and some of the stuff teachers have said about their students has broken my heart. I think it's important to find a coworker who's like young, maybe has the same ideas and beliefs as you, and who still cares. They don't have tenure. All right, basically what I'm trying to say. They still care, and they're still very passionate, and the students like them. I think it's good to just surround yourself with that positivity and stay away from that negativity, which in a group can really fester. And lastly, I think it's important to have fun with the students. As if like early teachers, you're going to learn along with them. I think the year's going to be long and hard if you have a me versus them mentality. If you're working together and have a lot of the similar goals as your students, I think that's going to make the classroom more fun, more effective, and you're going to have a work hard, play hard mentality where you can be serious when you have to be, but you can also goof off when you have to. And that's really my 2 cents. Thank you for listening.